Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Joshi episode 22. My favorite chocolate drink is Yoo-Hoo.
There
My
we go.
name is, I've been sitting on that one for 2 hours, buddy.
Oh
My
man,
name
you.
is Matt Turner, and I'm joined by the one and only my good friend, the world's good friend, one Andy Header. Andy Header, how are you doing on this glorious day?
Very warm day for November. I'm telling you, it was up to 66 today. I was liking it today. I don't really like the cold too much. I mean, it's okay when the fall and the winter, but it was 66 today. So that was nice. But I'm doing good. I'm trying to think of the last time I had a Yoo-Hoo, and it's been many years. The chocolate water, as people call it. And I think there was a limited time strawberry Yoo-Hoo, but I haven't had a Yoo-Hoo. My God, years,
Andy
years.
Header, I just realized once me and you have our big Tokyo Joshi Pro style match where it's a quiz
Mhm.
game, and what is Matt Turner's favorite chocolate drink? You now know the answer. So I
You
just
and then I
gave you
win.
I just gave you the key to that, my man. I just gave you the key to that. But man, I'm excited. Obviously, we got a Sendai Girls show to talk about.
hmm
We got Tokyo Joshi Pro show to talk about Wednesday as we're recording this. Obviously, this won't drop into the weekend. So Wednesday is always a great day for us because
hmm
it's new comic book day. And
Yep.
then about an hour or so after we get done recording, that we're gonna watch some AEW, my friend.
Yeah,
So
dynamite.
yes, absolutely. So obviously, I want to talk a little about AEW. Definitely want to talk about some Stardom. Again, obviously, Rob and I have covered the big
hmm
shows from Stardom, especially Crimson Nightmare, and the two big matches that were announced at the
hmm
end of the
hmm
show to end the year and the start of next year. And I want to get your thoughts on that. But just a quick programming note, because next episode is Talk Joshi episode 23, Attack of the Killer
Oh,
Bees.
geez, oh. Down, 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 down.
For those of you tuning in for the first time, first of all, welcome. Myself and
hmm
Andy Header, especially Andy Header, is a massive Anthrax fan. I believe your favorite, that's your number one band. Go,
Right
we're on
there. There we
YouTube.
go.
We are
uh,
on YouTube. You show off that ink, buddy. Yeah. So
yeah,
is Anthrax your favorite band?
them or Megadeth. Sometimes I like to say like they're 1A and 1B, so it could be either or, but they're my top two.
What is your okay? Now I need to know this for when we do this trivia question. It gets asked. I'm trying to. What's your favorite Megadeth album? I think I can guess because it's probably mine. But what's your favorite Anthrax album?
Ooh, so Megadeth has to be Rust in Peace, just
Ah,
for
yeah.
Holy Wars and Hangar 18 alone. But and then Symphony of Destruction probably be second.
That's
Favorite
Countdown to
Anthrax.
Extinction.
Oh, Countdown.
Countdown
Yeah,
to
how
aha.
dare I? Symphony of Destruction is the name of the album. Yes. That was my first Megadeth album, by the way, when I was like 11, 10. Showing my age there. Anyway, Anthrax, probably my favorite album is Among the Living. I think that's the classic one. Uh, what would be next to that? I really do like why am I drawing a blank? The one with the clocks on it. It has time, keeping the family, blood. Um, yeah,
Among a
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah. Among the Living. There we go.
Among the Living, yeah.
There we go.
Great,
So
great
that one, yeah.
album.
But
Great.
yeah, that's probably my top two Anthrax. But like almost every Anthrax album I really like. I mean, the John Bush ones, there's one or two like Stomp 442 was kind of like but yeah, Anthrax mostly everything I like. So
We're easy to please. Just give us some
yeah,
metal. Give us
yeah,
some metal. Indiana, real quick, let's get into some AEW talk. They
hmm
finally announced the participants for Blood and Guts. They kind of were building
yes,
something with we're going to get Jamie Hayter. We're going to get something with the Triangle of Madness with Tekla, with Julia Hart, with Sky Blue. But we weren't sure who the other participants were going to be. And then we got, in my opinion, the two biggest stars in the women's division in the history, the 6 year history of AEW. Tony Storm, your girl on
hmm
one side, Mercedes Monet on the other. So this is really cool because we're getting two Blood and Guts matches on one show. And correct me if I'm wrong, partner, that's a week today, right?
yeah. November whatever next Wednesday is. That's the first one. Are they
The
both on the same
12th.
show, or is one Collision, one Dynamite?
I think they're both on the same show.
I'm not sure, but you could be right. I'm not sure, but yeah, if they're not in the same show, they're within 4 days of each other or 5 days of each other. So yeah, looking forward to it. I like Blood and Guts. I like the war games from back in the day. A lot of people are like, well, what does it matter if you have to wait till everyone gets in? And that's like saying like, what does the hour and a half of the movie matter if the last 5 minutes is the ending? Like you want to watch the whole thing. It's very enjoyable. I like the blood and guts, the war games. And what's crazy is I think WWE is also doing war games around the same time, roughly. So that's kind of crazy. But yeah, blood and guts is looking pretty good. And I don't know who's gonna win, what way it's gonna go. It could go either way. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be really exciting as we're building towards Full Gear, which is actually kind of in our backyard there in New
hmm
Jersey, probably about an hour and change away from us at the Prudential
Yeah.
Center. So, yeah, a lot of great stuff going on with AEW. We have the women's tag tournament, and then I believe tonight They're doing some qualifying matches, like for basically who gets the advantage in the blood and guts.
Yeah, the old coin flip.
Yeah, then they're also doing, I believe, Mercedes, and I believe tonight's Mercedes, and again, as
Olympiad?
we're recording, Mercedes. No, they did that. Mercedes and Olympia was Collision, which is
Okay,
really,
that's
really
right.
good.
I have to watch that.
It's the next round of the tag tournament where it is Harley
Oh,
Cameron,
okay.
Willow versus Mercedes and Athena. So that'll be really, really good. So a lot of great stuff on tap for on AEW later on tonight, my man. So again, everything
Mm-hmm.
just flows into each other. We got some great stuff, but again, a lot of our listeners love it when you chime in on what's going on in the world of Stardom. So let's obviously talk. Let's talk about the big show that
Mm-hmm.
happened on Monday. And I why are all these shows on Monday? We had a Corkin
I
show on
know, yeah.
Monday. We had this pay-per-view on a Monday. The Monday coming up, we do have the Surrealism show, which by the way, I got off kilter. So Talk Joshi episode 23, Attack of the Killer Bees. We'll be covering the Tokyo Joshi Pro show from Corkin Hall on the 9th. Well, technically the 8th for us over here on the East Coast, and then we'll be covering the Surrealism show
Mm-hmm.
as well. So again, a lot of great stuff coming up in the world of Joshi, but again, always on a Monday. Why
Yeah.
why on a Monday? Why on a Monday? But regardless, buddy. So again, Crimson Nightmare, fantastic show
Mm-hmm.
from Stardom. Now, again, I'm not authorized to answer this question. You are, but I think I know the question. This answer the best gear on this show. The best gear
Yeah.
on this show. This is what we call a squash, right? Like this
Yeah,
isn't even close.
I think so. There was only a couple new gear, but there was one that really stood out, and she also had new hair. So I'm thinking she wins both awards. Not very often that a girl wins both new best hair and best gear in a show, but you got to give it to Hazuki. Her gear looked awesome here, and her new lighter blonde hair, or blondish, I guess you could say, brown, light brown, looked really good. But her gear was just next level here. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean her gear has always been great. There hasn't been one where it's just like her gear is like, yeah, it's mediocre. It's always been amazing to like best gear
Mm,
on the show. So I think I could be wrong, Andy Header, but let us know, folks, in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube or just send us a message. Has Andy Header ever given the best gear and best
yeah,
hair to the same person? I don't think you have, buddy.
maybe Tam got it one time on one of her show. Maybe I'm leaning towards Tam. If anyone did, it was Tam.
You know what? I'm going to say this: the main reason why Tam hasn't come back yet, or we haven't seen anything from her, is because she want to give other people chances
There
to
we
win the
go. To
best
win
hair and the best hair and the
gear.
best gear. So obviously, and I know you text me about how great the O2 line match, and this whole show was
Hmm.
really great. Obviously, it was built upon 3 championship matches: Hazuki Meisera, Konami, Starlight Kid, and obviously Sai Kamitani and Momo Watanabe. But the whole show was great. You had the 5 versus 5 match, which I thought was terrific.
Hmm.
15 people in the ring. That can get a little, you kind of muddy the waters a little bit. But I thought like O2 line and I believe they wrestled, was it the rival Tokyo Towers?
Was
Oh
it?
no, I'm
Was
sorry,
it?
it was
No,
Waka.
Waka. Yes, and
Yeah,
Hanako.
Waka and
Right, so good.
Hanako, they had like 2 or 3 new tag moves, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Ooh," which are going to get into which are going to get into my next question after we get done talking about Crimson Nightmare, because I do want to talk about who you think's going to win tag league, because obviously the brackets were just announced just the other day, but a lot of new tag moves between the two. Azumi's on a completely another level coming off
Hmm.
the 5-star Grand Prix, that match of the year candidate with Saya Kamatani for the World of Stardom Championship. Miwa Masaki is really developing really
Hmm.
well over these last 5 or 6 months, really confident. So you can see different confidence about her in the ring as well. So these two are really clicking on another cylinder. I thought they were great. The whole show was terrific. But the one thing I want to talk about, Konami and Starlight Kid. Like we knew this would be a great match, and it was a great match. And I've been
Hmm.
mentioning Konami has been putting in a phenomenal, very much like Suzu Suzuki, like an
Hmm.
underrated. It's a flying under the radar, and I think just because how great the wrestling is across the world with the Bandidos and the Takeshtas, and and everything else about Saya and Momo Watanabe and Azumi and Starlight Kid and Sari and Shuri and Mayu. Konami's having a great year, a really great year, and I don't think anybody saw this coming. I
No,
don't think
I didn't.
anybody saw this coming. I think it's one of the biggest shocks in Stardom history. Konami defeating Starlight Kid to win the Wonder of Stardom Championship. Andy Header. Again, I'm coming down with a cold. So I'm going to exit for a couple seconds.
No problem.
I just want you to talk about Konami and Starlight Kid.
So during this match, when Konami was winning, I was before she won, I was like, Starlight Kid's gonna win. We all predicted Starlight Kid to win. None of us thought Konami was gonna win. Not because Konami's bad. We all like Konami. She's great. But you just think Starlight Kid's run is so hot right now. Why end it? Why end it and give it to Konami? Who, again, nothing against Konami, but she's not where Starlight Kid is. But then when she locked on the submission and Starlight Kid taps out at the end, it's like, what? We got a new champion here? So it's like it was a big surprise for me. And then I immediately thought, oh, now they're gonna take Starlight Kid and they're gonna push her towards the world title. Not that she's going to win it right away, but that's what I thought. When Matt comes back here, I texted him right away. He said maybe Starlight Kid and Konami will flip the belt back and forth a time or two. But I was really surprised that Konami won it here, and great for Konami that she won the title here because it was a surprise. And the best thing in wrestling is surprises. So when Konami won the title, good surprise.
Yeah,
And
now
he's
we
back.
here I am. That was perfect timing,
Hmm.
but I actually heard you because I just went to my bedroom to get to, I heard you
Okay.
going through the I heard you and I'm like I just bounced right off that. So again, apologies, folks. So anytime that I come down a little bit of cold, you know what that means, Andy Header? More cardio tomorrow.
There we go. Yeah, we're
Sweating it out. That's why I never get sick. I just put myself with vitamins and
running
a
out.
lot of cardio. Absolutely. Um, this was this was a huge shock just because
Hmm.
we have Queendom coming up. And
Yeah.
you have Kamatani's the biggest star in the company. And I'm going to say Starlight Kid's number two. Would you agree with me? Kid right
I,
now is
if
positioned as number
she's
two.
not, then who would be Siri? Like, yeah, probably Starlight Kid is probably his number two. So you have your red and white. Well, you had your red and white as your top two stars.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that usually never happens, but it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. One of the many reasons why I love Stardom, and they've done that quite a bit. Again, you look in 2022, where Sherry was red belt champion and Kamatani was Wonder champion. Which like, we're going to talk a lot about Sherry and
Hmm.
Kuna and Saya Kamatani in a moment here, partner. So it was like cool. Like obviously, Konami's a great wrestler.
Hmm.
I just didn't see this coming, and it was in.
No.
And I don't know if you watched. Obviously, this show was on the third. I don't know if you watched the show on the first from November, but after Starlight Kid, it was Neo Genesis in a six-person tag. After they won, Kunami jumped Starlight Kid and then posted her arm with the chair onto the post,
Mm.
which Stardom rarely does, like a post-match angle, like a WWE style, American style angle. So I thought that was really weird. Like that's probably going to play into the match, and it did. And I thought the match was terrific. It was great back and forth. One of the many things I loved about the match was it went to a whole nother sympathy level for Starlight Kid, excuse me. Once she had Konami in the leg crusher submission,
Hmm.
and the crowd was into this match. The crowd was into everything, but especially these last two matches. But they were really into this match. And then once Rena handed the spray paint
Yes.
to Starlight to Konami, as soon as Konami sprayed Kid in the eyes, the crowd was very 1980s. Boo!
Yeah.
Starlight Kid makes the comeback. Yay! Boo! Yeah, and to me, it added so much more to it.
Hmm.
And I was just like, oh, I don't know where this is going to go, but Starlight Kid is such a great underneath baby face that she's going to come back and get the win. It's going to be even a bigger pop. And then once Konami hit like the three buzzsaw kicks and locked in that modified triangle answer, and I'm like,
Yeah. You're like, it's over.
I think that should be the finish, but there's no way they're going to take the belt off Starlight Kid. And I was like, oh, and then Konami got that because people started chanting her name a little bit because it was like, she's put in so much work,
Hmm.
for this belt, and she's challenged for it so many times with Arisa Shinki and Kari Sane. There's been a lot of great Konami challenges for the Wonder Star Championship. Literally, the point where Kyrie tweeted out a picture of Konami challenged Kyrie for that belt, I believe, back in 2017, and just like, hey, congratulations, it's been a long journey for you, which I thought was
Hmm.
cool. But
Yeah.
it's like they've taken the belt off Starlight Kid about 2 months before Queendom. So now you're going to rely on Konami. More than likely, she's going to be champion walking into Sumo Hall to help draw tickets. Now, is Konami a great wrestler? Yes. Is
Yeah.
she a proven ticket drawer? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. But then we found out. Well, we found out one of the reasons why they took the belt off Starlight Kid, and one of the other reasons why it took so long to announce the tag teams for the tag league, because we're like, we're 3 or 4 days away,
Yeah.
and there's
Nothing.
no announcement. And then we realized because they didn't have the Innova sisters. Starlight Kid injured, Hanan injured. They're probably waiting to see if they can come back for this. Saya Kamatani is not in it. And I understand, you don't want Saya to get hurt or be
Yeah. Right
overexposed.
before
I think
two
she's
big
going to be.
matches.
I think they said she's going to be in like random matches with like some of the rookies, which is going to be great for the rookies because the rookies
Hmm.
are going to learn more and they're going to be in the ring with the biggest buzzworthy star in all of Japanese wrestling, so that's good on them. But you're not going to overexpose Sai Kamitani. Do I want Sai in the tournament? Sure, Sai Kamitani,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I'm like, okay, now I understand why it took them so long because again, a lot of our listeners they don't do the backstage stuff. Like they've never been involved in wrestling, which again is fine. We look at wrestling different. And I
Hmm.
always say, I'm not saying our way of looking at wrestling is better or worse. We just look at it different. And we
Yeah,
always
definitely.
say, like, I would never be a booker. I would help with storylines, but just
Be very
putting
hard.
together cards and availability and storylines is so tough. Now, trying to put together a whole entire tag tournament,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother beast. Not only that,
Yeah.
but where was Taro Okada 2 weeks ago? Mexico, finalizing a deal with CMLL and Stardom, and good on him for that.
Hmm.
But now he's got to put this together. Do I have Hanan? Do I have Starlight Kid? What am I doing with Sai Kamatani? Are the Inaba sisters are available? So there's probably all that. So it's probably something where it's like I just need to see what I have before I announce it.
Yeah.
So that would be my guess. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I know me and you were texting back and forth a few days ago. Here's what I'm thinking happens with Konami. The old saying, there's money in the chase.
Hmm.
So, Starlight Kid did defeat Konami earlier this year back at the finals of the Cinderella tournament. Now, Konami beat Starlight Kid here at a Crimson Nightmare. So, they're 1-1 against each other in singles matches for the Wonder Belt. What's not to say that they have the rubber match at Dream Queendom and
There
Starlight
we
Kid
go.
gets the belt back because again, there's money in the chase, and you can put the whole thing that Starlight Kid got in Konami injured Starlight Kid, so you throw that in there. So I think a lot of people are like, I'm going to pay money to see Starlight Kid win the title back, and if that's the match they go with, I think a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, Starlight Kid's winning the belt back here, and I
Hmm.
want to see that because I like Starlight Kid, and I will pay money to see Konami get beat. She's a great heel, she's a great wrestler, and I will pay money to see Konami get beat. Or Andy Header, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Konami injured another wrestler in the starting roster that's not in the tag league, Hanan.
Mm.
So
Mm.
do they go with Hanan and Konami at Dream Queendom? Let's say
Yeah.
you, buddy. What do you think is
Hmm.
what are your idea? I don't think she drops this belt until I don't think it's gonna be a long reign. I don't think she drops it on the way to Queendom because we're only seven
No.
weeks away. At
No.
the same time, I don't think she walks out of Sumo Hall as Wonder Champion.
I mean, if they do Starlight Kid and Konami at Dream Queendom, why not have Starlight Kid win it back? I mean, I don't know if I would have took it off her if I was the booker. I think there was a lot of steam left, quite like when Micah lost the title. There's a lot of steam left. Why take it off her? But I get it. It is a shock. It's a surprise, and that's what professional wrestling is all about: surprises and unpredictability. So I, if you bring Hanan in, do you do a three-way with all three of them? Do you do a four-way? Do you add somebody else? I mean, do you put Brie Priestley in there for something like that? Or I don't know. I think probably it'll be Starlight Kid versus Konami in a singles match, and Starlight Kid wins it back. But what if Konami retains at Dream Queendom? What if that happens?
That'd be a big shocker, but does look like again, we still have 7 weeks, so a lot can
Hmm.
happen, but does look like going into Queendom, the biggest show towards the end of the year, all your major single titles are held by Hate. Kamatani Red,
Yes.
Konami with the Wonder, Konami Rena, and I'm so glad Konami Rena and Fukin Death Artist, and BMI 2000 as the
Yep.
Goddess. Yeah,
Yep.
so I mean, all your big major championships are held by members of Hate. And the way that I see it, I think that at the end of the year, the only person to walk out of Queendom as still champion from Hate is going to be Kamatani, which again, we'll get into a minute. Obviously, they have actually 2 shows they're running on the 3rd of January. My guess is that's where you're going to probably have an artist championship match because Konami has 2 belts now. So I don't think she can do double duty on Queendom. Maybe you do a
Yeah.
number one contenders match or gauntlet with the
Hmm.
wrestlers that honor, and then the winner that then challenge for the artist belts coming up on the 3rd of in 2026, which is like crazy that we're at the end of the year in like 6 7
I
weeks,
know.
buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time
Chris.
flies, man.
Yeah. No.
Time
Christmas
flies.
before you know it, and then Dream Queendom and Wrestle Kingdom.
Absolutely, the most wonderful time of the year. And then we
Hmm.
had Mayu Iwatani's 15th anniversary show. A
Yes.
lot of great wrestling, man. We're very lucky. Don't forget the Royal Rumble as
Yeah, I was
well.
gonna say the Royal Rumble, and then 3 weeks after that, 2 weeks after that,
Then
whatever.
the Elimination Chamber, which is in Chicago, so that's going to be a
Yeah.
wild card. But yeah, it was very. I was like, as long I've been covering Stardom since 2021, and as far as shocking wins go, that's probably up there. That might be
Hmm.
number one because I was like, didn't see it coming. Konami's a great wrestler. It'd be interesting to see what she does with this. Good on her because she definitely has earned that right. But the fact that it came at the expense of Starlight Kid which is a little weird. But again, Starlight Kid,
Hmm.
she's not in the tag league. Maybe she's a little bit banged up and she needs time off. And
Which,
maybe
I could see that.
Sure. I mean, look at the style she's been wrestling. And again,
Hmm.
if you remember that first match she wrestled with Konami, again at the finals of the Cinderella tournament, she went in there with a bad knee, a banged up shoulder. She got her nose busted open in that
Hmm.
match, and it was like she still had a great match. And then she wrestled at Azumi match at Dream Queen, or excuse me, All Star Grand Queendom at like 50%, and was still one of the
Yeah.
best matches you'll
Hmm.
ever see. She gets a little bit of a rest there, and then she's off to the 5-star Grand Prix, which she had a great run in the 5-star. So she's probably a little banged up. So that's maybe what they're thinking is like, hey, before she gets really injured, let's let her take a couple time. Let's let her take some time off, and then maybe at the end of the tag league, she'll come out. She'll challenge Konami for her rematch, and
Hmm.
then maybe that's the way that I think it's going to happen. That's the way that I would do it. But at the end of the day, what do I know, buddy?
Yeah.
At the
Who
end of the day,
knows?
what do I know?
Yeah.
So I think that's it was so weird because like as soon as she lost, I was like after the initial shock, and I was like, oh, they're doing Starlight Kid and Saya Kamatani
That's
in
kind of
Sumo
what
Hall.
that's what I thought. I was like, I guess she's going towards the world title, but
And then I
I can
was
see
like,
it.
then 45 minutes later, I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, this is
Soriano,
the way we're going. Yeah.
which we'll get into. Sai Kamatani versus Momo Watanabe. Now, Andy Header. There were some people, by some people, it's a minority people, that didn't like this match because Momo didn't win. That was the whole thing. I didn't like this
Totally
match. Well,
not.
why? Because Momo didn't win. Okay, I'm a massive Momo Watanabe fan.
Hmm.
You're telling me you didn't like the match because of the result. How was the match? Doesn't matter. And they didn't do a post-match angle. Like, okay, well, Momo said afterwards she's taking time off to heal her knee and her heel, and they did do a post-match angle where they set up two dream matches for two
Hmm.
massive shows. So it's like, what did you want? Like,
Yeah.
and maybe they save the Momo angle. Maybe Momo comes back at Dream Queendom at the end of the show, and that's where they plant the seeds for the angle on your
Maybe.
big show towards the end of the year. So I think that's the way we're going to go about it. But Andy Header, again, as far as how, and I know again, me and you talked off air. Obviously, we're on air, my friend. What did you think about the match? I thought this was great. I actually just rewatched it about an hour
Oh
before
wow.
me and you jumped about an
Hmm.
hour ago before me and you jumped on. And the one thing I noticed was just the crowd was so molten hot for the
Hmm.
match, especially towards the end. Like once Momo started hits like the tequila sunrise, the peach sunrise,
Hmm.
Saya, and then Saya gets out. The crowd was so hot, especially those last 4 or 5 minutes. I thought this was great. It's one of my top maybe 15 or 20 matches I've seen in all of wrestling this year.
Wow.
It's just another banger match in the
Hmm.
catalog for Sai Kamatani this year to stake her claim as, in
The
my opinion,
best.
the wrestler of the year.
Yeah. Hmm.
There's a good point that because I think the PWI Women's 250 comes out sometime next week. I think it's going to go to Mercedes because of all the
I can
belts and
see it.
everything. I can see that, but I mean, I can stake. We're staking a massive claim for Sai Kamatani, not only for number one there, for the overall wrestler of the year, as we're 6
Hmm.
weeks away and she's got another match lined up at the end of the year. But I just thought this not Momo was great. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
Sai was on another level. Like
Yeah.
she's
I
just
mean,
like the way she was snapping off those Ranas and the Rana off the apron and the
oh,
selling and the bumping
yeah,
and the
off the apron to
feeding.
the floor. Yeah.
And obviously Momo's kicks, they can chop down a redwood tree. But the way that Saya sells them, not overselling them like Shawn and Hulk Hogan back at the
Yeah.
SummerSlam, but like properly, like, oh my God, like some like Momo, like you wouldn't be shocked if Momo would have won by knockout the way
Yeah.
Saya was selling those. But I thought the match was fantastic. Obviously, again, Rob and I have covered this on the Stardom cast. So I
Hmm.
will give you the floor, good sir. What did you think about this main event for the
So
World Stardom Championship?
I thought the match was really, really good, but I texted you. I said I think as good as it was, I think they have a better one in them, and that by no means that is that disparaging because this match was really good. But I was like, I think they can pull out a little bit of a better one because that's probably isn't their last match. But to say that the match wasn't good because you didn't like the Momo one, that's kind of dumb. That's like a lot of sports team fans will say that, like, well, that game sucked because my team didn't win. Well, if they would have won, that would have been awesome. Well, that makes no sense. Like so, like a good match is a good match. I mean, I've had good matches where I haven't won and it didn't matter. But yeah, the match was really good. Saya is on a next level. Like, an even bigger surprise if Momo would have won the title because why take the title off the best women's wrestler in the world, not maybe even wrestler overall in the world. So yeah, the match was just really, really good. Saya is on another level. Saya is the best in the world, woman or man, I'd say. And keep the belt on her. The match was really good. The match before with Starlight Kid was really good. Hazuki versus May Sarah was very good. I even enjoyed Saki Kashima tapping out to being almost powerbombed by Bozilla. That match was good, aside from a few flubs. So the show was really good. But yeah, the main event is really good. And watch Starlight Kid versus Konami with the surprise win there. But a great show from Stardom overall. And I guess we'll get to the two matches set up for Dream Queendom and Wrestle Kingdom. We got Sayori at Dream Queendom and Syuri at Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, I think Rob said on the show last week, because you guys were speculating about who will challenge Saya at Dream Queendom, and Sayori came up, and it's like, well, Sayori is not quite at the level. Well, no one's at the level of Saya Kamitani right now in popularity or maybe in ring. But I mean, Sayori is very good. But there is that thing of like, is Sayori gonna win? Probably not. Most likely not. But it match will be really good. So I mean, there's no problem. I mean, we all know Spider-Man's going to win at the end of the movie, but the movie, we still go and enjoy it and watch it. So, yeah, I think the match will be very good. Probably another five-star match. And then I think, say, Saya versus Suri might be just a little bit better. I don't know. And, I'm thinking, Saya's your biggest star in all of Japan. Is she going to get three belts? I don't, I could see it happening.
I think that it was so they do the thing and Momo cuts a promo saying, I need to take time off, but I'm coming back for that belt. So she already staked her claim for it.
Yeah.
So Soriano versus Sai Kamatani, they've been kind of teasing a little bit ever since Sai Kamatani defeated Natsupoi. Like the fact that we're like, maybe Soriano wins the 5-star and we go, and that's how she gets the queendom. But you're right. Rab asked me, he said, do you think Soriano's a big enough star to main event Sumo Hall? I said, well, who's your dance partner? Is it Sai Kamatani? Then yes, because Soriano Natsupoi on their Cell Produce show at the end of May sold out Oda War Gym, which is
Mm-hmm.
the show that we're talking about that was on. So they sold more tickets to the Cell Produce show than this show did. So she's a massive star. At the same time, it's like, how do you know? Very much like Konami. How do you know if you don't try? Is Konami going
Mm-hmm.
to sell tickets to her Wonder Star Championship match at Sumo Hall? I don't know, but let's give her the opportunity to
Yeah.
try. So you'll never know until you find out. So I think that Soriano is somebody coming off this match, and I think that Saya Kamatani is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she needs to win. I think it's an easy prediction. I think the match is going to be absolutely fantastic, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, and again, more than likely, not unless something crazy happens. That's the show that obviously we're flying over to Japan
Mm-hmm.
for Dream Queendom. So I know I'll be out of my seat on near falls because Soriano's great on them. Saya Kamatani's great on them. It's a big match at the end of the year. So I'm super excited for it. But even if Soriano does eat the L looking at the lights, she's at another level because
Yeah.
she can say, she has main evented Sumo Hall, and I mean, the tickets are selling really well. It's going to be another probably 4,000, a seater for Stardom. So I'm so happy for Soriano to get that spot because it's a fresh matchup. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fresh matchup that
Totally
we haven't
fresh.
seen. Speaking of, so it was so funny because obviously Sherry comes out first, and I'm like, oh my god, we're getting it. Oh my god, we're getting it. And once they announced that Sherry and both Sai Kamatani were wrestling at the Tokyo Dome, and I was like, the instant connection is like, oh my god, maybe they're gonna have a singles match. I'm like, New Japan, no, it's not gonna. It's
Yeah.
gonna be. It'll be a tag match or something. Like we got lucky last year with Mayu and Azumi, and
Yeah.
I think they went like 7.5 minutes. But at the same
Yeah.
time,
We all wanted more.
if you're going to give two wrestlers 7 minutes, those are the two best wrestlers to show you what to
Mm-hmm.
do. And Azumi and Mayu was one of, if not the best match on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
So it's last year. So that was great. Obviously, 2 years prior, it was Kyrie and Tam, which is a dream match, but it went 5.5 minutes. So it's like,
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
what story can you tell? I think maybe the litmus test was Cherie versus Sherry back at King of Pro Wrestling
Okay.
just about a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
where they gave him almost 16 minutes. So it's like,
Yeah.
ooh. So I think this match is going to get time. Obviously, when Sherry came out, I'm like, oh my God, we're getting it. And when she said Tokyo Dome, I'm like, I don't speak Japanese, but I know what that was. And kudos
Yeah.
to Walker Stewart because he was amazing on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Solo show by himself, doing the translation, added so much to this great show. And I'm like, oh my God, we're getting it. Oh my God, we're getting it. Now, the only thing is, if we're getting a red belt match at the Tokyo Dome, you're probably not getting a red belt match at Dream Queendom. So I was like, But then Sherry says champion versus champion, title for title. And I was like, I hope it's for the IWGP Strong, just because I want something for Dream Queendom. So when she pointed, I'm like, oh my God, we're getting this Sherry versus Sai Kamatani match. Now, I will always say 2022, for Stardom is the greatest year for Stardom, maybe one of the greatest years ever for a single wrestling company. You can put it up with, not what do I have, 94 All Japan. You can put it up with 2017 New Japan.
Yeah,
Like, it's one of the
fantastic.
best years ever. And one of the reasons why is the red belt champion at the time was Sherry, white belt champion at the time was Saya Kamitani. They had two singles matches in 2021, one on the 5-star Grand Prix and one at a random Goddess tournament, which I did alternate commentary for. I just found out on a whim. Pardon me.
As
So
he sneezes, I was gonna say he goes off
yes,
the mic to sneeze there.
I have tissues over here. I'm trying not to be gross here because we were on YouTube. I got the hair going, looking dapper. So, but it is that time of the year.
Hmm.
But so we never got, like, man, I want to see Sherry versus Sai Kamatani so bad. So it was always like, because now when they had that match, Sherry was at that level. Sai didn't get there until the end of 2021. So we never got that big match. We were
Hmm.
supposed to get in the 2023 5-star Grand Prix. But as you know, Andy, and our listeners know, Sai gets injured night one and then doesn't come back until the end of the year because she was hurt.
Yeah.
So we never got that match. There have been some teases this year when they were doing Hate versus God's Eye, where we would just
Mhm.
get a little bit like, man, I want that match. I want that match. And then when Sherry comes out, it's like champion versus champion, title for title, the ultimate challenge, Andy
The
had.
ultimate challenge.
But I was like, oh my goodness, we're getting this at the Tokyo Dome. And then all of a sudden, and when that promo gets over, you can just hear the crowd starting to cheer. And then I'm like, oh, somebody else is coming to the ring. I'm like, I don't care who it is. You just took away from Sherry versus I don't care. Oh, it's Soriano. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, I was like, and then Soriano was like, I'm coming at Sumo Hall. I'm like, okay, we didn't get the Momo face turn that we were getting. And then we understand why, because she's injured, she's taking time out. Okay.
Hmm.
But we got, in my opinion, something just as good, if not better. We got Tokyo Dome, Sherry versus Icon Matani. Maybe, and I'm going to ask you this question in a moment. I want you to answer this question in a moment. Excuse me. Maybe the biggest match in Stardom's history. And then, but before that, we're getting Soriano versus Sai Kamatani. So Sai has been on this unbelievable run for the
Hmm.
last year and change. And we're going to and she just had, in my opinion, a 5-star match at Momo Watanabe. And now we're ending the year with her and Soriano and then her and Shuri at the Tokyo Dome.
Hmm.
So my question to you, and again, they had a press conference for it. We're 2 months away. So we're doing a 2-month build to this show. There's no way this match is going 10 minutes. This is going to get 15,
No,
16,
no.
17 minutes. You're going to get the proper time to tell their story. They're investing in it. Now, they have said that they've sold about 31,000 tickets already to this show. It is
Yeah.
already the highest drawing Tokyo Dome show for New Japan since prior to COVID, since
Wow.
2019, and mostly because of Tanahashi.
Tanahashi. Yeah.
And I will say that here, and I will say that on the Stardom cast, and then after this week, I'm just gonna say it's because of Shuri and Sai Kamatani. That's it. So my question to you, Andy, and from what I understand, they signed a TV deal with somebody else where this is going to be on like a big network where it's going to be seen by a few million people.
Hmm.
I could have that wrong, but I don't think I have. I do. So this one's probably going to top out close to 40,000 people, if not more. And you're going to see Sherry versus Sai Kamatani, and then probably a million or so people watching this live or right after. So my question to you, buddy, could this potentially be the biggest match in Stardom's history?
Hmm. S- Because of the stage of it, it's at the Tokyo Dome, and everyone's gonna be watching because Tanahashi's retiring. Uh, it, I think it might be. It might be literally the biggest, and then like figuratively also the biggest because you have Saya Kamitani, who is white hot, and she has both the strong
Red
title and
hot,
this.
buddy. She's
Yeah,
red hot.
red hot, red hot. Yeah, that's right, red hot. Just thought a kid was white hot. Anyway, she has both titles, and then you got Siri, who is excellent, and she has the IWGP, and someone's going to leave with, well, I guess not all of them, because the Stardom title is not on the line at Wrestle Kingdom, right? The World of Stardom.
No, it is for
It's strong and the IGP.
IWGP versus Strong, which I know
Okay.
you already told me your prediction, and I went the other way, and I told you why. So I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'll tell you why what my prediction. 'Cause I think this match is so easy to predict. I really do.
Yeah. So, like, for being a big match for Stardom, yes, because you could argue that Stardom is like more interesting than anything New Japan got going on right now. Nothing against New Japan. I mean, Yota Tsuji versus Takeshi would be a good match, but like I'd
Yes.
rather watch Saya versus Suri any day. And like aside from those two matches and Tanahashi, who would probably wrestle Okada, like what else is there? Like, yeah, it's okay. So like the Stardom is going to be a big spotlight on this, especially because Saya is so white hot, red hot, whatever you want to call it. I think it might be the biggest match for Stardom ever of all time, and it's Wrestle Kingdom. So you got all these people watching it, especially if it's going to be on the big major network at TV Asahi or whatever it is, and then everyone
That's the
watching on.
network. That's the
Yeah, yeah,
network.
TV
Yes.
Asahi. There we go. So everyone watching the New Japan World, like, yeah, it's probably gonna be the biggest match, and like I think Saya's gonna win because why not put all the belts on your biggest star in all of Japan, all of women's wrestling? Saya Kamitani. I see her leaving with the IWGP too because why the hell not? Nothing gets serious because Syria is great.
And yeah, again, everybody, once this match was announced, they're like, Saya's winning three belt, Saya, blah, blah. I
Hmm.
said, take a step back. And I text you this, and that's why I want to use this form. And again, I'm obviously talked about this on the Stardom cast, or I will, and then that's gonna pop up before this, but depending on when you listen to it.
Hmm.
Stardom's done a great job with the rematch. Like they do a great job promoting a rematch to make more money. Example: Saya versus Tam. Every time that they've done it, it's drawn gangbuster numbers. And the last time they did it, it broke the Stardom record by over 2,000 tickets. The previous
Hmm.
record was 5,500 at All Star Grand Queendom 2023, and then Saya versus Tam earlier this year did 7,500 tickets. So not only did it break the record, did it by 2,000, which is
Yeah.
crazy,
Hmm.
crazy. So you're going to be looking to try to do maybe around 7,000 tickets for All Star Grand Queendom. Again, if they run the Yokohama Arena. So again, if you look at this match, Shuri versus Sai Kamitani, it's not for the red belt. It's for IWGP versus IWGP Strong versus the World. So it sounds like an NES video game,
Yes, Strong
MCW versus
versus
the
the
World.
world.
So again, you're going to have, let's just say, probably close to 40,000 people that are going to watch this
Hmm.
match. My guess is this is no Yoda Suji and Takashi is going to be great.
Yeah.
They're two of the best wrestlers. Sherry versus Sai, if it gets that 14 15 minutes, it's going to be the best match on the show. Sorry, it's
Hmm.
just I
Yeah.
don't think anything's going to beat it. I
Yeah.
really
Nothing else is
don't.
coming close.
Yeah, not let you bring like Kenny Omega, Okada, and I think this is going to be great. Tanahashi, we love him. He still can go, but I mean, he put the miles on his body.
Yeah.
So again, maybe a million people watching this on TV, and I don't know. And if again, folks, if you guys know better, please let us know. This is just kind of what I was tagging earlier this week. I think this is so easy to predict because you're looking to do 7,000 people 4 months later at All Star Grand
There you
Queendom.
go.
Shuri, it's not for the red belt. Shuri's going to beat Saya Kamitani, and then people will be blown away by this match. And then as we're getting to the end of February, beginning of March, Shuri's going to be like, so I beat you in the middle of the ring of the Tokyo Dome. I'm coming for the red belt. I got the
Hmm.
purple belt. I want the red belt now. I had a year run with this championship and I never got a rematch. Julia won it, never challenged Julia. Tam had it, never challenged Tam. Micah had it, never challenged. Tora had it. She never had another shot at the red belt.
Wow.
And she had a year run. In my opinion, it's the second best run with the World of Stardom Championship behind Io second round. But Kamitani is like right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right there. So it's like, well, geez, they just had maybe the best match at Wrestle Kingdom 20 in front of 40,000 people. How many other people watching it on TV, then delay, then if they put on YouTube? What's not to say that's going to draw 8,000 people? And then Saya gets her win back.
Hmm.
And then they're 1-1. And then anytime you want to run, I think this match is so easy to predict. I'm like, am I the only one not seeing this? Like Sherry's going to win. It's not for the red belt. Sherry's going to win this. And then when the time is right on your next big show, All Star Grand Queendom, you run it back for the red belt and have Saya beat Sherry there. I just think that's just clear as day for me. Clear as
Maybe
day for me.
I mean you make a good argument. I could see that happening, and then the third match is that the next Dream Queendom, after this year's, like if you want to make it that long, possibly, but I could see that definitely because I mean the New Japan Strong title, I mean, yeah, it's not the most prestigious, and
There's been
and
some
I
great matches for it,
yeah,
though. There's been
yeah,
some great
yeah,
matches
and I
for it.
believe Rob said on the show last week that it will probably get phased into the IWGP and the Unify at some point, which I could definitely see happening. But yeah, if Suri does beat Saya and then wins both titles at Wrestle Kingdom, and then you say I'll get eyes on of All Star Grand Kingdom, why not? It's a smart move. I could see that happening. I still think Saya's gonna win, but I mean, it could go either way, and I would be happy either way.
There, yeah. Either way, Andy had we're about 40 minutes into this. Let's talk
We
about
talk about one
the
show.
outside of stuff. Yeah. Well, obviously, these two shows from Sendai Girls and Tokyo Joshi Pro, great shows. We could probably fire through them pretty quick.
Yeah.
We could probably fire through them really quick. And again, folks, next week we have two great shows to talk about with the Tokyo Joshi Pro show in Cork and
Sorryism.
Hall, and then the Sorryism show. And then the next week, Andy Header, is the it's a Cork and Hall show from Sendai Girls,
Mm.
which is absolutely with Baba Momo Banana versus Aya Sakura and Natsupoi, obviously Suri versus Chiro Hashimoto. So,
Hmm.
folks, we have a lot on
A
tap
lot of
for
stuff
Talk
coming.
Joshi. Yes, so for next week and the week after. So, Andy, without any further ado, let's talk about some Senjo, good sir. And we start off. We are here at this is October 26th,
Hmm.
Shin-Kiba first ring. I always say, brother, you want to start your show off with a hot match. We start off with a hot match, non-title match, as Yuna, the Sendai Girls Junior Champion, taking on Uriah Suzuki. We haven't seen Uriah Suzuki that much in
No.
Sendai Girls these last few shows. This was fantastic. This went to the old TLD. A little weird that you had 5 matches on the show and 2 of them
Yeah.
went to the time limit draw. So I thought this was great. Yuna has really been on another level since winning that Sendai Girls Junior Championship. She's been great in the she was great in the Jaja Uma tournament. Uriah Suzuki was fantastic here. Really, really great stuff. I thought the strikes was great back and forth. Literally to the point, like whenever a match goes to the time limit draw, I put my MMA hat on and I'm like, okay, if this fight goes to a draw, if I'm a judge, who do I have winning this?
Hmm.
If I was asked, Matt, and I guess I'm going to ask myself, Matt, you're on Talk Joshi, episode
Self.
22, who wins this? I'm still going with a draw. This is a 50-50 match, and I would like to see Uriah Suzuki somewhere down the line challenge for the junior. I think eventually Spike is going to win it, but I
Hmm.
would like to see. I think
Agreed.
hearing Uriah Suzuki would be a great match. But again, I thought this was terrific. Literally to the point where sometimes you get lost in a match, and then you hear the bell ring. You're like, what happened? I'm like, oh, went to the time limit draw. 3 and 3/4
Hmm.
stars. I thought this was great.
Yeah, I agree with you. And when you say MMA, when you're looking like that, I thought that Uriah's style was very MMA with the kicks and the submissions and everything. And we've always seen her a couple times, but she's really good. And Yuna is gotten a lot better, and Yuna is very good. I thought this was a solid opener, but it's weird to have an opener of a show be the time limit draw, especially when you're going to do another one, and then you have that as the opener, the finish for the opening. So a little weird, but I mean, not bad by any means. But yeah, the match was very good. I gave it 3.5 stars, but I liked the one part where Yuna catches a kick and turned it into a figure four. I thought that was really cool. And I was like, that's really nice. I want to steal that myself. And the back and forth near falls at the end, I was like, okay, they're going to do this, and Yuna's going to win because in my mind, I wasn't even thinking time limit. Like I was like, yeah, we'll get a clear winner, and then it expired. And like you said, it was kind of the things were like, oh, what was that? Expired. The time expired. But yeah, very good match. 3.5 stars for me.
And you made a good point where she catches the foot and puts in the figure
Yeah.
four, and then Yuna is trying to position the figure four. When she does, she puts her arm up, and when she does, Uriah grabs the arm and puts into an arm bar,
Hmm.
which I thought was great. You know what else is great in here? Again, we are now on YouTube. If you take a look over my shoulder over here, you
Hmm.
gotta you can clearly see autographs from Queen's Quest.
Ooh.
Azumi, Saya Kamitani, and then you see Lily's drawing of Utami Hyde Sishta. I've been trying to get that down for 2 years.
Really? The the
That
the
where you
the
can
view.
see Saya. I mean, I love that
Yeah.
picture of Saya with the white belt. Obviously, Azumi as high speed champion. Again, Azumi, in my
Hmm.
opinion, the best high speed champion of all time. Kamatani, in my opinion, the greatest wonder champion of all time. And I always say, if my house is burning, what is the one thing that I will save outside of obviously my wife, my daughter, and my cats? It might be this piece right here. I think it's this autographed, or it could be the star. But again, another story for another day. But yeah, look at that. Hey, you know why we're on YouTube? What are you drinking there, buddy? What do you got going
I
on
am
there?
drinking A&W Root Beer Zero. It is very good. A lot of people don't like the zero sodas, but when you do have a root beer or a ginger ale, the flavoring of that overpowers any fake sugar taste. So yeah, A&W. I don't work for them, but A&W is zero sugar.
A&W and Dot Card really need to sponsor us, by the way.
Yeah.
Really need to
Hey.
sponsor us. Speaking of, I don't know, zero sugar, we go to the comedy match of said show, I think is the proper way to see this.
Yes.
Hiro Matsumoto versus Shin Hirota. The match ends with a clothesline, and then it gets restarted again, and then
Yeah.
ends with this wild backdrop driver. Like it was comedy, and then it was just like lariat, pin count, another lariat, and this like wild Doctor Death. God, R.I.P. Doctor
Yeah.
Death. Steve Williams. This backdrop driver that Shin took, I was like, yowzers. You knew what you were gonna get. You had your comedy, you had the fun stuff. Hero, she was having a really good time. And then it was like, all right, let's call this one a night. So technically, I guess this was a 2 out of 3 falls match that we didn't know,
Yeah.
but I thought it was really funny. 3 and 1/4 stars.
Yeah, it was funny, and I when it came in, it's like when she hit the clothesline, I thought in my mind, what if that's it? And she pins her, I'm like, oh, that is it. I'm like, but then it restarts for no reason. But hey, it's Senjo. It's funny. Why not? But I like the part where she kept whipping her off the ropes. That was kind of funny. And then there was several pin attempts that just didn't work by Hiroyo or by sorry Shin, which was pretty funny. And then finally that backdrop driver was crazy. I was like, oh boy, that was a little something. But yeah, I gave it. I don't know if I gave it a rating, but yeah, I gave it 3.5 because it was a comedy match and it was like I guess two matches technically, but it was enjoyable.
Speaking of enjoyable, Andy had her Spike and Zones taking on Ryo Mizunami and Uriah Oka. I know it breaks your hearts when you see Uriah Oka come on a tag match and she's not
Yeah,
flanked by Mia
without
Momono.
Rio. Yeah,
But don't worry, next Sendai Girls show, you'll get your fix, buddy, because you're
yeah.
going to take on Natsupoi and Aya Sakura. Boy, howdy.
Hmm.
Good boy, howdy. This was great. Zones, we've seen her on quite a bit on some of these New Blood shows from Stardom. She's really impressive. Her and Spike have really great chemistry, which we've seen Spike and Raven, Leverkusen, they have really great chemistry, which goes to show you that Spike can be, she's a great
Hmm.
singles wrestler, and she's a great tag wrestler with more than one person, with more than one style, which just goes to show. I think she's only wrestling like 2 years, but the fact she has that down already is really terrific. And Rio, she's a vet. She's been around. She's always entertaining to watch.
Hmm.
She's so electric on her entrance. And then Eureka Oka, she's just electric in general. I thought this was great. The finish of the match is really great. Closing sequence with Spike and Rio. Eventually, Rio hits a big spear onto Spike for the 3 count. I thought this was great. This is my favorite match of the show up until this point. 3 and 3/4 stars. This show is very tag team heavy, which I know is
It
right up
was,
our
yes.
alley. Yeah, right up our alley.
Yeah, and Spike did get her tagging with zones here was good. I thought maybe her chemistry with Ray Leverkusen was a little bit better. They kind of meshed a little better, but her and zones weren't bad at all here. And Rio with the chops and the with the double arm chops in the corner. It's like, oh boy, it just chops, 2 hand chops as I write down. That was crazy. There was a Samoan drop by zones, a suplex by Eureka, and then a clothesline by zones where they're like back and forth when they kept going down. That was really cool. And at the end, it got real hot with the double team clothesline by Spike and zones, then running clothesline near fall, Spike onto Rio. Then the top rope cross body by Eureka to Spike, and then Spike gets hit with the spear by Rio. 1, 2, 3, and Eureka and Rio win the match. It was a very good match. I gave it 3.5 stars, but a solid tag match. And it's cool to see Spike continue to get better and to show all her versatility wrestling, tag matches with different partners.
Yeah, again, I think she's going to defeat Sanka to win the Zsa Zsa Uma
Very
tournament
soon.
again on the show that we were going to review in 2 weeks' time. Andy Header, I just realized I forgot to ask you. We'll save this to the end. I forgot to ask you who
Okay.
you think's going to win the Goddess of Stardom Tag League. We had a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
Stardom
we have to
tag,
go
so
back
we'll,
to yeah,
we'll
yeah.
save it. We'll get all the parts of Stardom in. Now, the one tag team we would love to be in the Goddess of Stardom Tag League, but is not.
Hmm.
Red Energy, Miyuki Takase, and Mika Wada taking on Veni and Dash Chisako. This went to the time limit draw, which this I completely understand why it went. I would love to see great wrestling like this go the full time limit because I want to see great wrestling. One thing I definitely have to ask you about, there was a spot early on this match that I was like, really concerning. Mika Wada eats a roaring elbow from Veni and then a spin kick, and then she goes down
Hmm.
and like she doesn't get up. And then Mika Takase comes in. She kind of saves Mika Wada. Wada runs off the ropes, and then Mika Takase tags herself in. And it looked like Mika Wada got knocked out. But then she gets back in the ring and is a house of fire. And then she takes towards the end, she takes a stiff slap from Veni. So my question is, do you think she just got her bell rung? Do you think she got legit knocked out and they let her back in the ring? Or do you think it was kind of a work to build up to that really violent finish with Mika Iwata and Veni? Because I watched this match twice. It was great. It was my favorite match. It was my favorite match of these two shows we're going to review by a mile. Again, it was really great stuff. I actually had a 4.25 stars. But like I said, I went back and watched, and I was like, I don't know if she just got her bell rung. If she again, if you get a legit KO, you're out of the match, or they should just end the match. But the fact she went
Yeah.
back in the ring and all of her kicks and stuff were really, really crisp, and they were really stiff on the stuff with Venny. And then Venny slapped her right above the ear. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's in wrestling, accidents happen. If you've
Hmm.
gotten your bell rung, it's happened before. But for some reason, if the person does go back and they're fine, the ref clears them, you're gonna stay away from the head. Where Venny was like, absolutely not. She went back at it. So let's just say you, partner. What do you think happened there?
Was that the pump kick that Venny threw that hit
I think it was
Mika?
a roaring elbow, and then she threw like a spin kick, and then it was
Yeah,
like 2 minutes into the match.
Because yeah, it was really crazy looking, but I don't think she was knocked out. But like, but did she get hit real hard and maybe hit her head on the ring on the way down? Possibly. And that's like for anyone that doesn't wrestle. Sometimes you take a bump and you see the stars, as they say. It's kind of like I guess like a concussion light, or maybe like an almost concussion, where you're knocked out of it, but you're not out. You know, you're still aware of everything. So I think that's kind of more so the case where she just really took a stiff shot and she wasn't totally out of it. But she did seem like that seemed a little weird, that part. But then she got back into it and she was all right and everything. So I think that's what happened there. But this match was very good. Betty continues to be very impressive here. Some of the shots she was throwing, I was like, oh man, wow, she's looks great here. And Dash looked good, really good too. So this match was really good. I'm probably right with you and gave it 4.25 stars because it was just solid. And I thought there was gonna be clear winner. And it's weird that we already had time withdrawal on the show, but no big deal. We still get time withdrawal here. But there was what the gut buster by Mika for the near fall, and then a missile drop kick, a German to Mika, as I turn my page. Oh geez, there was a power bomb. There was a bunch of really cool stuff right at the end, and then there was what the Dash basically throws Drew McIntyre's Claymore to hit Mika with that. Then a German suplex in near fall by Dash. There's three roll pin attempts by Dash on Mika. Then the running knee, the Bomae, as Shinsuke Nakamura call it, to Mika from Dash. And then Mika slams Dash with the bell rings, time limit draw. This match was very good. I'd like to see it again. And man, wouldn't it be cool if Red Energy was in the Goddess of Tag Team or Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Tournament? Yes, it would be, but oh well, we still get to watch them. So yeah, very good match, 4.25 stars.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Again, my favorite match from this show. Andy Header, we get to our scheduled main event of the evening, which is it's kind of funny because I was like, that's what's gonna outdo that? This main
Mm-hmm.
event was really good, don't get me wrong, but not as good as what we just saw. So we have the team of
Yeah.
Chair Hashimoto and you, Team 200 kg, taking on Mei Saruga. Don't get to see
Mm-hmm.
enough Mei Saruga. She just had from what I understand, a great match with the Zumi. I don't know how to watch it just yet, folks. If you know how to,
I
please let us
seen
know.
a little bit on Twitter. Someone shared. I was like, when did that happen? Like, I'd like to watch that. You know?
On the 30th of October, and it was in Shin-Kiba first ring. Again, they had Azumi and Mesa. They had one of the greatest high-speed championship matches of all time on the finals of the 2022 Cinderella tournament. But Mesa Ruga teaming up with her mentor Emi Sakura. This was great because you have like Shira Hashimoto and you. They worked like the hard-hitting power style, and Emi Sakura works that style as well. And then Mesa Ruga, she's kind of the odd person out in the best way because she works the high-speed style. This was some really great stuff. And the finish of this was great. You hits a lariat and then follows into with the Superwoman, Shades of Yuna
Mm-hmm.
Mizumori and Nigel McGuinness on Emmy for the 3 count. I had 4.25 stars, very much like the last match, but I like just the tag match, just the Red Energy versus Venny Dash match, just a little bit better. By the way, Dash was amazing in that match as
Mm-hmm.
well. But this was great. Obviously, Chir Hashimoto and you, one of the best tag teams in all of Joshi and have been for the last year and change. Mace Rugen and Emi Sakura, they were great as well. I thought this was really great, hard hitting. You didn't know which way it was going to go. I'm like, are they going to put over the Checo Pro tag team? And then ultimately, it was just a little bit too much. Team 200 kg for May and Emmy to handle. Again, 4.25 stars. Great one. This whole show was great. What a
Mm-hmm.
great final 2 matches to end this show.
Yeah, great tag matches. I did like the Red Energy match just a little bit more than this one. Maybe because I wrote nothing against Team 200K, which I really think they're good. And I think you is again one of the people that's retiring that doesn't look like she's going to retire at all, quite like Meiko Satomura. But yeah, the match was really cool. There was a lot of great moves. I anytime you does her tease the dive and then she just does the roll out of the ring splash.
Rolling
That's
dive.
yeah, I love that. I love when she does the double sidewalk slam. That was really cool. There was an inverted DDT by Emmy to Chihiro. It looked really crazy. I was like, oh, there was the rope rock Warana by May. That looked awesome. The guy sees a little bit more May Saruga because I haven't seen her in, geez, I can't remember the last time I seen her. It was probably some older show that we reviewed, but
We
she looks
we
really good
actually
here.
we actually reviewed the Grand Princess. She was in the opener, remember, with
Oh, she
apple pie,
was.
apple
Oh,
pie,
geez, I
yeah,
forgot all
or
about it.
apple ice cream, apple ice cream.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah. So yeah, I'd like to see a little more May Saru because she looked really good here. May hits the victory roll on top of Team 200K, but then the big clothesline by you, and then the Superman, the Superwoman pin by you to Emmy. 1, 2, 3, and it's all she wrote. Very good tag match. I think I gave it 4 even. So yeah, I liked it. Not as much as the last match, but still a great main event.
Yeah, the whole show. Again, we're kind of
Solid
scratch
show,
our
yeah.
yeah, the whole we kind of scratch our heads 2 time limit draws, but regardless, you can't take away from the great wrestling that happened on this show. And I do want to point
Mm-hmm.
out, as two guys that grew up in the ECW neck of the woods, that Mace Ruga
Mm-hmm.
and Emi Sakura, they hit the Public Enemy drive-by.
Oh, they did.
So I was like, all right, fantastic. Andy Header, before we go to the next show, the only question that you can answer. Obviously,
Hmm.
we pretty much know that Hazuki is our overall winner for
Yeah.
this show. But as
For
far
sure,
as
she wasn't on.
for Talk Joshi episode 22, my favorite chocolate drink is you. Who had the best gear and the best hair for this Sendai Girls show?
The best hair. It's a little bit of a toss up. You know whose hair looked really good, better than usual? I thought Venny's hair looked awesome here. It was longer, flowing, wavy. Venny's hair looked great with the bangs and everything. So Venny wins best hair. Best gear. No one really had newish gear that I know of. Maybe Amy did, but I thought the best gear overall was Miyuki Takase, her red and yellow stuff. I think it's stuff she wore before, but I thought it was the best gear in the show. So Miyuki Takase, best gear, best hair goes to Venny.
I think because we got spoiled at the Grand Destiny show where everybody had new gear,
Yeah.
and then Hazuki might have had gear of the year. Her or Tommy's new gear, I think, might be gear. Again,
Hmm.
only you can answer that
That,
question,
that
my
that's a
friend.
good
Yes,
question. Hazuki's gear from the show on Saturday or Sunday, and Tommy's from the Miracle show, top notch.
I'm gonna text Rob that we're gonna for when we do our end of the year awards that we're gonna do overall best gear, and the fans can't vote. It's just you. It's
It's just
just
me. It's just me.
it's just you. Andy Head, let's go to some Tokyo Joshi Pro. We go to 11/1/2025. Obviously, we're in Shinjuku phase for Autumn
Hmm.
Victory Volume 2. And we had a lot of comedy. We had a lot of fun stuff. And then we had two, in my opinion, two matches, the last two matches, very much like the Sendai Girls show, that really over delivered. But let's get into match one. My hero, again, folks, I'm coming down a little bit of a cold and I'm still learning some of the names. And by the way, follow Andy over at Tokyo Joshi Pod. He does a great job
Yes, he
following
does.
that. And
By
obviously,
himself too.
he does a great job. And a good guy. And from what I understand, he lives in California, but he hung out with us in Las Vegas. I think he's originally from the Scranton area.
Really?
I think he's from the
Wow.
Electric City, like kind of
How
like
about
us,
that?
buddy. Yeah. So I think he told me he grew up around the Scranton area. I know he listens to the podcast. Andy, if I have that right, let me know. Because I think he was trying to get a meet and greet ticket for Julia, but they all sold out. And I think he was
Oh,
telling me because we know he's from California. He's like, well, next time you're down visiting your folks, let me know. I might be in the air because I think he told me he grew up in Scranton. So
wow. How about
yeah, I
that?
think he worked for some guy named Michael Scott at Dunder Mifflin. I
He's
don't
done
know.
a paper company. Do you see it at Cooper's?
Yeah, he was selling paper. Anywho, and he had again, and obviously big ups to our man Frohouse, he keeps sending us like great matches to
Yeah.
watch. I didn't get a chance. I know he sent something with Kana Asuka versus I forget who. He just sent it today from Shimmer, but I've seen all of her Shimmer stuff. But thanks Frohausen for everything,
Hmm.
and keep them coming,
Absolutely.
guys.
Yeah.
Get because again, that's how you educate. That's how we're gonna get educated. So again, I apologize if I get these names wrong. Obviously, Andy, if I get them wrong, you're a little bit better at the Japanese than I am. By all means, my man, cut me off and do the Bobby Eaton knee, cut me off, and go from there. Andy Header, we opened up with kind of a faster match here. Mahiro Karua taking on Chika Nanas, with Mahiro getting the win with a forearm and spine buster combination. I thought it was a good enough match, fun enough match to get the crowd warmed up, but it wasn't like a Malenko Guerrero classic by any stretch of the
No.
imagination. But the one thing with Tokyo Joshi Pro is that everybody is over. Like they know how to work
Hmm.
their gimmicks. 3 stars for me, good sir.
Yeah, I agree with it. Mahiro, mainly a comedy wrestler. You know, she does the funny stuff here. When she was going to lock on the bow and arrow, and she said something in Japanese that I don't know, but the crowd was into it, and then she locks it on. It's kind of like she's trying, but she can't get it, but she does get it. And I believe it's Chika Nanase. I believe that's how you say it. But right at the end, there was the sidewalk slam, the Boston Crab by Mahiro, and then picks her back up, spine buster, and 1, 2, 3, Mahiro wins this one. Solid opener, 3 stars.
Right there with me, my man. Match number 2, we will go to Ren Kananatsu and Riku taking on Hyper Masao and Kaya Toribami. I think I said that right because I think you educated me on last
Torabami,
show.
yes.
So the one thing I noticed in this match is this is more wrestling from Riku. Usually she does like a lot of the sleepy
Hmm.
gimmick. She was wrestling a little bit more, and I was like, when she decides to move away from that gimmick and be more of a serious wrestler, she's going to be terrific. Is she over with that gimmick? Yes. Is she
Yes.
having the time of her life with that gimmick? Yes. Are the fans having the time of their life with that gimmick? Yes. But eventually, when you do comedy, it kind of hits the wall, and you need
Hmm.
to change things up, and then you can obviously eventually go back to it. But that's the one thing I took from this match is like when Riku is going to have like be a serious wrestler when the time is right. She's going to be fantastic. Eventually, though, this match finishes with Hyper Misao tapping Ren out to the crossface chicken wing, 3.25 stars for me.
Yeah, this match was enjoyable, especially at the beginning when apparently Ren and Raku switch places with little stuffed sheep. So the whole gimmick is that Hyper Masao and Kaya have to wrestle these little stuffed sheep. So they put the little sheep on the pillow and they're circling them. And then when they go to finally attack the sheep, they get a little bit, but then Ren and Raku come in and they roll them up, but the roll up doesn't quite work. So that was kind of cool. And then they go back to it where which one is throwing the as I look at my notes here. Oh yeah, Hyper throws the sheep at Ren, and she like catches the sheep, and then she locks in the nice submission. So it was cool how they worked in the little stuffed sheep, but that was funny. But like you said, Raku wrestling here, she did a lot more wrestling. Aside from the sheep thing, she didn't do any sleepy stuff at all. The pillow was in the beginning of the match, and then it wasn't in anymore. So I could see her being a serious wrestler, sometime. I mean, right now she's over and the sleepy gimmick's over. Keep doing it. But maybe she wins the title and she turns heel and becomes serious or a different gimmick. Who knows? But yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was a good match. I gave it 3 even.
I think her heel turn's very easy, buddy. Again, two guys that grew up in the 80s and 90s. Sensational Sherry would always load the purse, load the pillow.
Oh,
You
load the
load the
pillow. Fool,
load
she
the
pulls out that brick.
yeah, load the pillow. There it is.
And then she's always awake. So that's her bad guy. Raku never sleeps.
Never sleeps. Like yeah, like
Yeah,
Fred at the
yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Hmm.
Andy header match number 3. Palm Harajuku taking on Rika Tatsumi. Again, Rika Tatsumi is somebody that when they tap into her in the main event, she was great. Again, we reviewed
Hmm.
Wrestle Princess from back in March with her and Mizuki. I was like, wow, so Rika's really fantastic. Like, really, I was blown away by how great she is. This is more of your comedic match. I like how Rika, she's great at the transitions into the submissions, but the finish being a rear naked choke and transition out into the Dragon Sleeper.
Hmm.
The Dragon Sleeper, when back in our high school days, was a very popular move back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
You don't see the Dragon Sleeper put on
Not too
that much.
much.
And I
No.
like that Rika kind of bringing it back here, my man. Bringing it back 3.25 stars. I mean, Palm's gimmick is another one that's really funny. They have the spot where they're on the table in Shinjuku face, which I always say, anytime that's the reason a match in this venue, like she will be next Monday, that she always does the double
Jumps
stomp
off.
off the table.
Hmm.
So you know that Natsupoi is eating that double stomp next Monday, my friend.
Yes.
But I like how they use those tables where they were just kind of they're doing the cat and mouse game on the tables. Like that's pretty cool, pretty different. That's I never seen
Hmm.
that before. So you had your fun stuff. Again, Rika's a really great wrestler when she's tapped to wrestling. You know the Mizukis, the Miyu Watanabes, the Shoko Nakajimas, so on and so forth. But this was just tapping in more to the fun side, the comedy side. Which again, the fans had a great time with this one, and so did I. 3.25 stars for me.
Yeah, I'm probably right with you. I liked at the beginning where Palm like says, "Hey, let's leave and not wrestle." So she pretends to leave, so Rika leaves, and then Palm sneaks back in and tells the ref to start counting so she can get the count out victory. But then Rika comes back in at 19, but she has a drink with her. So that was kind of cool that they did that little thing. Palm's gimmick is what? She's a 6-year-old. So you got to think of how a 6-year-old would win a match. And I like when she hid behind the promoter when they were doing the stuff outside, and the promoter locked on the sleeper for some reason. I was like, what is going on here?
Ring the
But
bell.
yeah, ring the bell.
Disqualification.
But and then Pom did hit a nice head scissors near the end and a missile drop kick for a near fall that looked really good. Then there was a backbreaker and a sleeper by Rika, and then find the dragon sleeper, which, if you want to move that hurts in real life, the dragon sleeper, even if you don't know what you're doing, you put that on someone, you just pull back and pull the arm, it hurts. And you'll be tapping out right away. But yeah, Pom taps out here to Rika, and it was a solid match. I give it 3 and a quarter.
They actually teach the Dragon Sleeper and Catch Wrestling, my friend. So
Really, it's because it's easy and it's one of the moves that yeah it does hurt in real life.
one of my I was away at Catch Wrestling camp this past weekend, and one of the Catch Wrestling coaches was telling me at his last tournament he won. The final match he won was with the Dragon Sleeper.
Really, wow, awesome.
Yeah, and then somebody's like, "What's the Dragon Sleeper?" So I explained, and I was like, "Yeah, I think it was Tatsumi the dragon Tatsumi Fujinami that invented it, but where we know the Dragon Sleeper from is from Ultimo Dragon."
Ultimate Dragon, yeah,
So I was just like, "Yeah, I know what that move is," but yeah, it's a shoot hold, very much like the
yeah.
STF. It's a legit shoot hold. And he had a match number 4, Kiera Summers taking on, making her Tokyo Joshi Pro debut, the number 1 contender
Mm-hmm.
for the Princess of Princess champion J Rod. To me, this Akira Summers, we think she's great. She's great on commentary. She's entertaining. She's energetic. She's the perfect fit for Tokyo Joshi Pro. To me, this match was Just have J Rod steamroll Kiera some.
It was
Get
a
like Kiera get
squash.
yeah, like Kiera get a few things in. We need to make J Rod look like a beast because she's wrestling Miyu Watanabe. Needs to make it look like she's a threat.
Hmm.
My opinion, that's what they were going for. And if that's what and if I'm right, home run. Kiera Summers was great, the few things that she did, but she bumped, fed, sold her ass off, and made J Rod look like, oh, Miyu Watanabe is going to get steamrolled, which I don't think that's going to happen. But
No,
that's
no.
that's the perception. You want the
Mhm.
danger to be there. Can Miyu overcome the former American Gladiator in J Rod? J Rod, she's been cutting some great promos on social media to build up to this match, and then this is her first match and just absolutely destroys Kiera Summers. Hits a huge spear for the win. 3.25 stars. Again, this wasn't the match that I know we're going to get with Miyu Watanabe coming up.
No.
I believe this weekend, and it didn't need to be. You need to very much like when they brought Megan Bain into Stardom a few years ago. She steamrolled everybody on her way to Tam. Then her and Tam had just a phenomenal match for the World of Stardom Championship. My guess that's exactly what they're doing with J Rod here. Is have her just steamroll everybody and then build her and then feed her to Miyu Watanabe. So again, this is the first introduction to J Rod in a Tokyo Joshi Pro Ring. Very impressive. Very
Hmm.
impressive.
She looks great too. With the American Gladiator gear and everything, she just looks great, and she got great size. And one thing, when her music played, I was like, I don't know what this music is, but it's like metal music, and I was all about it. I thought her music was awesome. But yeah, this was for the most part a Monday Night Raw squash match. The person that's going to be the next challenger, they go and they get a good one-up match where they just basically wipe the floor with Kira. Nothing against Kira. She got a little bit in. I think she got she fights back. She got a drop kick, but then a fallaway slam by Jay. I like when she J Rod did the fallaway slam, and then she started doing push-ups on top of Akira. That was pretty cool. And then at the end, she hits the sidewalk slam, and then the spear. 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote. I'm looking forward to J Rod versus Miyu Watanabe. It should be really good. And you have the whole like strong versus strong here with Miyu and then with J Rod. So it should be really good. Looking forward to it. But yeah, 3.25. It was for a squash match. It was a very good squash match.
Again, Miyu Watanabe is presented as this absolute powerhouse.
Hmm.
And the promo and before we hit the record button, I showed Andy the promotional poster that just came out a day or two ago. J Rod is like a good foot bigger than Miyu
Yeah.
Watanabe. So it's gonna be really cool. Again, I think we're gonna see like some like Miyu just getting her butt kicked and then making the big comeback and then probably hitting the teardrop onto the bigger J, which is gonna be a huge cool bump. Just don't think J Rod's taking this. I don't think anybody's taking this belt off Miyu Watanabe.
Not
With
for a while.
except yeah. I think not unless your name rhymes with Shoko Nakajima, I don't think
Yeah.
anybody is taking the belt off her. But again, really good showing for J Rod. Now, Andy, as far as the work rate goes, this is where you start hitting another level.
Hmm.
Again, it's kind of two makeshift tag teams, but all four wrestlers we really like. Mifu Ashida and Yuki Arai taking on Suzumi and Mizuki. Now, Andy, I know you're very good at coming up with makeshift names. Suzumi and Mizuki. Suzumi, former of Daisy Monkey. Mizuki, former with the Magical Sugar Rabbits.
Hmm.
Is this the Daisy Sugar Rabbits or
Ooh.
the Monkey Sugar Rabbits or the Sugar Monkey Rabbits? Where are we going with on this?
I
Because
got a
obviously
better one.
we can't do
Do
magical because Yuka's not here. But go ahead, good
Oh,
sir.
jeez. I was gonna
Go
say,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
do we do magical sugar monkeys? Because that would be really good. But maybe we get
There you
something
go.
different. Sugar. I don't know, but yeah, I'm sure they got a good team name that they're sitting on. I'm waiting to hear it. Maybe Andy over at Tokyo Joshi Pod knows the name. I know I listened to his last podcast and he said a couple names. I was like, I gotta write them down, and I forgot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to their name here. But yeah, this match was really good. Mifu kind of has the cheerleader gimmick. Yuki Arai, who I called you, what would I say? Yuki SA, because she does the Uncle Slam like the
And
Patriot.
she's the red, white, and blue. She comes out in
Yeah,
red, white,
yeah,
and
and she
blue.
always says the red, white, and blue. She's America's girl, even though she's 100% Japanese. But yeah, this match was really good. There was a lot of good stuff here. Mizuki came out with the black gear again, which broke the wrestling Twitter for a while there when she first came out with the black gear. Um, like right at the beginning, Mizuki and Suzume go to do a sneak attack, but Mifu and Yuki catch them, and they don't get the sneak attack. Double submissions right in the beginning. That was pretty cool. There was a double body slam to Mizuki and Suzume. That looked awesome. As I go here. Okay, there was a part where Suzume locked on. I wrote down a unique submission on Mifu. I don't know what it was, but it looked really cool. Again, there was no English commentary here, so we were just watching, trying to guess what was going on. Um, As I
Is
go
that the
down
one? Is
here.
that was that the one on the ropes? Suzume was,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. She
Yeah.
does almost. It's like she goes for like the crucifix bomb, but she locks it in the ropes, like almost
Yeah.
like Tajiri's tarantula, but instead of being yeah, instead of being
Yeah.
vertical,
She's
it's
like,
horizontal. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That I don't know what that is, but that's really really cool.
Yeah. Someone
Suzumi,
knows the name. Tell us.
yeah, let us know. Suzumi it might be the bee lock, right? Isn't she supposed to be a bee? So
Oh yeah, yeah.
maybe we'll call that the bee's nest.
The bee's nest. There we go.
There it is.
Get a little honey in the bee's nest. There was a where was it go right here? A forearm bottle by Suzume and Mifu, then a roundhouse kick that looked really good, and an X Factor by Mifu. So maybe she's watching her Sean Waltman or X Pac tapes there. Uh, a run up face buster by Suzume that looked really cool, where she runs up the corner and drops the face buster. A double stomp by Masuki to Mifu. Top rope cross body by Mizuki to Mifu. The rope walk face crusher by Suzume, and then finally the ring of bell to Mifu. One, two, three. That's all she wrote. I thought this match was great. I gave it 4 stars.
Wow, you liked a little better than me. I had it 3 and 3/4 stars, but again, really great stuff. Again, Mifu is kind of like the youngest person in this match, but every time we see her, she's infectious. You can't keep her eyes off her because she's so
Mm,
energetic. Again, yeah, obviously Yuki Arai, she's fantastic, and Tazumi and Mizuki are at the top of this wrestling company. So again, really great stuff. 3 and 3/4 stars. But in my opinion, Andy Header, the action just gets better. Shoko Nakajima, Miyu
hmm
Yamashita, and Toga taking on the team of Haro Kachishino, Yuki Aino, and Miyu Watanabe. So you have, if you're taking a look, Toga, who's crazy over, teaming with our respected favorite wrestlers from this company. Obviously, you, Shoko Nakajima,
hmm
Miyu Yamashita, taking on a very great up and coming wrestler with Haru. And then they team with the two wrestlers that just competed for the Princess of
hmm
the Princess Championship and Yuki Aino and Miyu Watanabe. This was absolutely great. The one little nitpick is like it seemed like it's building, building, building. Shoko hits the 619 in the Northern Light suplex. And I was like, I thought if it could have stretched out a maybe minute or so, like it would have got to that next level. It was
hmm
still great. I had it at 4 stars. I thought this was great. And every time I see Shoko, she's unbelievable. She's such a special talent. The way she does that springboard where she springs over, hits the middle, then hits the hurricanrana.
Yeah.
Her and Miyu Watanabe have really great chemistry. And somebody was telling me, I think it was either Grand Princess or Princess of Princess 2024, 2023. They had an absolute banger of a match. And that's a match that we'll definitely need to seek out because
Yes.
don't get everybody was great in this match, but to me, the little bits with Shoko and Miyu Watanabe, that's where it was all at. And I think maybe
hmm
that's where they go. Again, Miyu, she's the cornerstone of this company. She's clearly the one they invest everything in, rightfully so. They do the Up Girls concert in the beginning. She's
hmm
over. She's a great wrestler. But I think when it's time to transition to the next champion, I think it's Shoko. I
Yeah.
really do. She is just so good. Excellent stuff here. We did something at the end where Miyu Yamashita was looking at Shoko's MLW featherweight
hmm
championship. So maybe that's somewhere where they go.
There we
Regard,
go.
regardless, again, Haru was with all the star power in this match. Again, I think Yuki Aino is somebody that is going to be the future of this company. Maybe she's the one again when the time is right that takes the International Princess Championship from Risa
Risa.
Endo. I could
Yeah.
really see that. She's great. Obviously, Miyu's terrific. Both Miyu Watanabe and Miyu Yamashita. Shoko's just on another level.
hmm
I was really impressed by Hara. She did a great job understanding like I'm not the star of this match. There's a lot of big stars, but I'm gonna make every second that I get in this ring really count. But ultimately gets towards the end with a great little mini match with Shoko and Hara. I'd love to see them 10-12 minute
hmm
match somewhere down the line. I had this 4 stars, my favorite match of this show.
Yeah, I thought I'm right with you. 4 stars. I thought this match was really good. I thought Toga looked very fast. I even wrote down Toga is fast. Like the last time we seen her, I don't think she was wrestling as fast. Maybe to keep up with everyone else in this match, but yeah, she is fast. She looks good here. I like how Shoka and Miyu started too. So like it's like okay, we can see them starting. Like I'd like to see a singles match between them. That was really cool. Then there's a part where it was Miyu and Miyu. I don't. It's weird because you got Miyu Watanabe and Miyu Himashita, and their names are I don't know how you say
No
them
different.
differently. It's Miu and Miu or Miyu, so Miu and Miu. So I don't know, but it was Mio. They had a fast action pace spot that was really cool. Mio power slam Shoko at one point that looked really good. There's the giant swing to Miu, so Miu give the giant swing to Miu. um, Miu slammed Shoko and Miu at the same time, so she picked up both of them and slammed them both at the same time. Very impressive. I like that. Then there was a Rana into the pin by Shoko on Haru. That looked awesome. There was the one leg drop and then the 619 to Haru, then Northern Lights with the bridge 123 Shoko Pincer. This match was really good. It has almost all the top stars in Tokyo Joshi Pro in one match. And what more can I say? 4 stars, great match.
Yep, me and you both 4 stars. And I thought that would have been the main event because you probably
Yeah.
have, I think your four biggest stars in this company, and again, correct us if I'm wrong, are Miyu Watanabe, Shoko Nakajima, Miyu Yamashita, and Mizuki. So you have three
Hmm.
out of your four big stars in this match. And I thought this was the main event until then the next match started. And then I was like, why was it? And then I'm like, oh, I understand because you're setting up a preview match for your Cork and Hall show. So a
Hmm.
main event has our tag team champions of Yuka Kamifuki and Owaka Uehara, Wanaka Uehara, also known as Uber Eats, tagging with the International Princess Champion Arisa Endo to take on the number one contenders, which is Shino Suzuki and Himawari. And they team with the young and very talented Uda Takami.
Hmm.
This was a really, really great match. You had some really great fast-paced action starting with Arisa Endo and Uda. I don't know if that's a future International Princess Championship match coming up as
Hmm.
well. I think it's a possibility, but majority of this match was just building with Himawari and Suzuki, not Minoru or Suzu, but basically them taking on the team of Uber Eats coming up again, Cork and Hall on this Monday. Excuse me, this weekend, but they did a great job building to that match because we've only seen a little bit of Shino. What I've seen of Himawari, I've really, really enjoyed. And Uber Eats, they're really coming into their own as one of the top tag teams,
Hmm.
not only in Tokyo Joshi Pro. Again, I know they're the tag champs, but one of my favorite tag teams in all of Joshi, which is saying something. But this match, if the idea of this match was to get you excited for their championship match coming up in just a few days, they did a great job. They did a great
Yeah.
job because we just got a little bit here. Eventually, though, it is Yuka hitting the Famouser onto Shino for the 3 count. My second favorite match from the show partner, 3 3/4 stars.
Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of I think I give it. Yeah, I did. I give 4 stars. I really like this match, probably as much as the last one. You had your team that's all the champions with the tag champion and with the international championship. Wakana forever. I gotta always say that one. Whatever. Wakana Uehara. It's wrestling. Wakana forever overeats. And then what was Himawari and Shino's Suzuki's tag name? Bumping Gritters.
I think that was it. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up, buddy.
Bumping Gritters, something like that. That's their tag name. Andy over at Tokyo Joshi Pod said it, and that was when I was gonna write down. But yeah, the start of this match,
Bumping
it was great.
Gritters.
Bumping
Bumping
Gritters, there
Gritters
we go.
with a
It was.
lowercase G and an uppercase R on that
It
word.
probably means something, but the hell if we know. But it's funny. Ariso and Uda had a start. It was very high speed. I liked that in the beginning. That was really nice. Wakata gets a drop kick and a handspring back elbow, which looks really nice. I like when she does the handspring back elbow. Uh, there was where was it right here? Oh, I like that Uda's move, the koala clutch, which is the cobra clutch, but with the leg scissors on the body, kind of the variation. I really like when she hits that. That's a cool move. Natural selection there, a little Charlotte love from Himawari on Makana. That was cool. And then she started whipping her with the hair whips. So it was hair whip versus forearm. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like forearm, hair whip, forearm, hair whip, and then the double hair whip. That was a cool spot there. There's a part where Shino was fighting back, but there was a double neck breaker by Shino and Himawari where they both do like a flipping neck breaker and a regular neck breaker at the same time. It looks really cool. Northern Lights bomb to Uda by Arisa there. It looked really cool. As they go through, there's a Blue Thunder by Himawari. Just want to start picking up a drop kick by Wakana, a belly to belly by Shino, a drop kick and a near fall on Yuki there, and then Fame and it was kind of like the Rough Rider that Yuki hits. She hits it not once but twice for the 1 2 3, and I gets the win for her team here. Yeah, this match was really good. I give 4 stars to this one too.
Yeah, this show was basically kind of your precursor to the Corkin show, which I'm really excited for. I'm really excited to
Hmm.
see. I don't think there's going to be any titles change because we just had three of
No.
them happen at Wrestle Princess not that long ago. So, but I'm really excited to see what J Rod and Miyu Yamashita is going to be.
Yeah.
Bumping Gritters versus Uber Eats, I think could steal the entire show. So I'm really looking forward to that. So again, folks, on tap next week we have the Surizum show with Suri team with Suzu Suzuki to take on Chiro Hashimoto and Natsupoi. Obviously, we'll
Mm.
review the whole show,
Yeah.
and then obviously the Tokyo Joshi Pro show. Then again, in 2 weeks, we have that just an absolutely loaded Sendai Girls
Yeah.
show. We are so lucky. Andy Header, you need to let the people educate me and the people what had the best gear and best hair from this show.
So we will start with best hair. I gotta give it to the newcomer, J Rod. Her hair looked awesome here. It was long, it was curly, it was flowy. It makes her look even bigger than she already is with her jacked American Gladiator gear. So yeah, she gets best hair and best gear. I was back and forth a little bit, but I have to give it to Miyu Yamashita. Her pink and silver and black gear looked really good here, and her gear. It's usually like sometimes it's plain, but like recently her gear has been really nice. So Miyu Yamashita gets best gear, and J Rod gets best hair.
Now, were you able to give us an overall winner between Tokyo
Mm.
Joshi Pro versus
Ooh,
Sendai Girls, the
Sendai.
real Forbidden Door? Which it
The
does
real
seem a lot lately that we've been doing a Sendai Girls show and a Tokyo Joshi Pro show, which kind of just lines up. So, which can be interesting because again, next week you're going to be doing Surrealism versus Tokyo Joshi Pro. So, the
yeah.
real Forbidden Door here on Talk Joshi. Can you give us an overall winner on best hair and best gear, good sir?
No, Hazuki. No, if I had to pick, I think maybe I liked Venny's new hairdo a little bit more than J Rod's. So let's give Venny best hair overall of these two show and best gear overall. I like Miyuki Takase's gear a little bit more. So Sendai Girls is taking home both trophies here for breath, best gear and best hair in Venny and Miyuki Takase.
Speaking of which, folks, if you heard my phone go off, Chiro Hashimoto just like some of our tweets, buddy. So there we go.
Awesome. How about
Hey.
that? Yeah,
Then we
we
had the
like
jumping.
Chihiro Hashimoto. So there we
Yes, we
go.
had the Jumping Bomb Angels. Follow us,
Mm-hmm.
Talk Joshi 2025 on our social media, which we'll be meeting the Jumping Bomb Angels in about 2 weeks' time,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah,
So
I'm excited for that. I wish I had them two toys. Maybe someone will see selling them there. I'll buy them and get them signed there. And I did share some stuff. Like if you follow the Talk Joshi Twitter X page, there was a vintage Peroresu. They share some awesome clips, and there was a great one of the Crush Gals. I think it was them versus Jumbo Bomb Angels. Then they shared another one. I share on our page because it's just awesome clips. Like watch how great wrestling was. I mean, wrestling's great now. It was also great back in the late '80s.
it's always been great, buddy. It's
Mm-hmm.
always been great. Andy had it before we close this one out because obviously we're gonna close this one out, and then we have a top 10 to do before we
Mm-hmm.
go to, which I'm really excited for. By the way, folks,
Yeah.
if you're on our Patreon, myself and Andy, we are going to be dropping this week in our top 10 all-time favorite Stardom finishers. So I'm excited to see what you have and I have. But before we let these fine people go, Andy Header, who is winning? Who do you have winning red block? Who do you have winning B block? And who is going to be the overall winner of the Goddess of Stardom Tag League? I think this one is kind of a little bit more easier to predict, but I'm just interested to see what you think is going to come out of this. I did think Sorry Poi was going to win, but with
Mm-hmm.
Sorry Anu now
I was just
challenging
gonna say,
Saya,
yeah.
that kind of takes them out of the running. But good sir, please let me know what your finals are and who do you think is going to win the whole tournament.
See, the red block is loaded, I think, with both FWC and Sayori Poi there, and the tag champs there. So, like, it's just and Sari and Miku Kanai all in the same block. That one I think is the hardest to call. And like you said, with Sayori now in the main event, I don't see her doing double duty. That'd be cool if she did a little Jay Lethal ROH action, like when he had the TV and the world title. But red block, I, I think FWC, I think they need it. So I could see them and the tag champs, Tora and Ruaka, getting to the finals, well, the finals of the red side, and then FWC winning red. As I go over to the blue, which, hey, the blue ain't shabby either. I mean, you got Siri and Saki Kashima, and then you have Hanako and X, whoever X will be. It's not going to be Wakana, or Wakana, Waka. Wonder who it will be. Who knows?
What do you think?
Maybe Micah.
That's what Rob was saying. I think X might be Xena.
Oh, that's a good one too. I mean, she's probably ready to come back. Would it be
Both
great
of
if it
us.
was Tam? It doesn't even make sense. It's just Tam.
Yeah, just for the heck of it, you
Yeah.
know.
Uh, so the blue team, as much as I want O2 line to win, I don't. Maybe this one's a little tougher. Suzu and Rika or
Rena, dude, how
Rina.
about that for a team? And
Yeah, I
Konami
mean,
and Rena, and I was kind of hoping Konami and Rena would team because they've been really great as 2/3 of the artists of Stardom champions. Like their stuff as tag team has been terrific. So I'm excited we're getting Konami and Rena, and then Rena Yamashita and Suzuki. You want to? I mean, they're like death match wrestlers, right? I mean, in
mhm.
your face that can wrestle and can do it all. I'm so excited for that team of Suzu and Rena. I think they're going to tear you know what up. But I think Blue Block you kind of just glanced over. I'm going to tell you right now, I think Blue Block's so easy to predict. I think it's definitely O2 line.
Do you think it's really? If it's not O2 line, I think it's Suzu and Rika Arena.
Here's the reason why. More than likely, the winner of this is going to challenge the tag champions at Dream Queendom, and you don't have anything set up for Azumi. And Azumi has
Hmm.
never won the Goddess of Stardom tag team champion, which is absolutely insane because her and
Yeah.
Momo, like they're one of the best tag teams like ever in the last like 15 years. And Miyu Amasaki is getting insanely over, and everybody loves Neo Genesis. So I think it's kind of. I think I have FWC winning that. I have O2 line over FWC. So I will absolutely take that
Wow.
final. What a
Wow.
final that's going to be.
Yeah.
But I have O2 line winning this, and then I have Azumi walking out of Sumo Hall as Goddess of Stardom champion.
I'd like to see it. I really would. I think it's gonna be FWC and maybe Suzu and Rina, and then FWC wins and they get the tag title shot at Dream Kingdom. That's the way I see it. But hey, who knows? Could go anyway. I do like the team of Aya Sakura and Sayaka Aurora. I think that's a good team too on the blue side. So like, and then whoever X is gonna be. If X is Micah and it's Micah and Hanako, I can
They
see them
made it to the
winning.
finals last year. They made
Yeah.
it to the finals last year. So
The drinking buddies. What was their team high cupmate? What was that their team name?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. High cup mate, cup
Yeah,
high
high
mate. Yeah,
cupmate.
yeah,
Yeah,
with the Sapporo beer. So
yeah. So I can see that. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I think FWC wins the whole thing.
you're going with FWC, which would I can
Yeah.
see that because the fact that the worldwide FWC and they
Hmm.
gotten crazy over in CMLL, so capitalize on that. So yeah, you got a good point, and then you have them walk out of. I think whoever wins this tournament is beating BMI 2000 for the Goddess
Yeah.
belts. So I think it's a good shout. So you have FWC winning the whole thing. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
a good shout as well. So again, we shall see. I'm excited for it. Again, I know a lot of people like no Innova Sisters, no Saya, no Starlight Kid, no Han. Like I get that. At the same time, like it's still loaded. It's a still
Yeah.
loaded
Especially
tournament.
Red Block.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Again, it starts this weekend, the 7th. So 7th,
Mm.
8th, and 9th. So again, we got a lot of great wrestling on tap end here. Not only do we have in about an hour and a half from now, do we have a loaded AEW show, but again, we got 7th, 8th, and 9th from Stardom, the
Ooh.
Goddess Stardom Tag League, which I think they're all live on either YouTube or Stardom World. But again, we have the Cerism show, we have the Tokyo Joshi Pro show. So, and then once you get over your wrestling hangover, we have that great show coming up on the 16th
Hmm.
for what a great
There's
November.
never too much wrestling. Never.
Absolutely not, buddy. Never. I can never. Some people are always like, "Do you ever get wrestling hangover?" I'm like, "I haven't in 40 years. Why am I going to
Yeah.
stop now?"
Yeah.
give
Hey.
me, give me more. Give me more. Andy Header, my good friend, my brother. Anything else you want to talk about, or you want to close this baby out?
I think we covered all that we can cover for Joshi for this week, but next week has so much more that we're excited for, especially Sorryism. Sorryism was always a great time and really good shows. So if you want to find more Joshi stuff and share, follow our Talk Joshi page on Twitter or X, whatever. Please follow there. I shared a lot of cool stuff. Matt posts a lot of cool stuff, and we post all about the show itself. So, and if you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, just type in an hitter. I will come right up. At Blue Sky, I'm AH24. And on Twitter X, I am at Get Some Header, pun intended.
Folks, questions, comments, suggestions, anything you need from us, Matt Turner OF on the Instagram and the Twitter is easiest, fast, and best way to get a hold of me. Or as we said 10 times before, I'm going to say it again, follow our new Twitter page at TalkJoshi 2025. Or, you know where else they can get a hold of me, Andy Header? The old email.
Ooh.
I'm going to tell you what that email address is. And Andy Header, as he always says, he's going to help me to help
To
you.
the old Hogan.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. There it is. I'm an
Oh,
ultimate warrior.
yeah.
The email address. What am I doing now? Oh, the email address is the Stardomcast
Ooh, what, brother? 22.
22 at gmail.com. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for another fantastic episode of Talk Joshi. We greatly appreciate your support. Can't do without you. It's like I always say, just not my podcast. It's our podcast. As we're all together, everybody's different. Everybody's special.